Oh, there you go. Hopefully I can get this right. All right. Yo, what's up, Solrarks? Hopefully I have this set up right. But I'm actually trying to get something official set up for this live stream thing instead of just this, but this is all I got to work with for now. But anyway, so now that we're kind of, we got the ball rolling a little bit, I wanted to introduce you guys to my next project. Hopefully, let's see, hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, I think that's good now. I think the camera's in the right place. So yeah, basically, I wanted to kind of share with you guys my next project. My next project is going to be an Eldar Alliance. I'm hoping to build it up to 2,000 points, and I'm going to work on it a little bit today, and hopefully we can get through at least a couple Craftworlds and see what units I'm going to go ahead and pick for this. So let me go ahead, excuse me, let me go ahead and go over the rules really quick with you guys. So this is going to be for a 2,000 point Eldar Craftworld Alliance list that I want to make. I'm going to be trying to make it by the end of February or maybe even March. I'm hoping for that, but we'll see. And here are the rules for the list. So this is kind of a challenge list. I'm challenging myself to build something that won't exactly be super competitive, but will be fun and hopefully a challenge both mentally and, you know, also creatively. So let's go ahead and take a look. So the first rule in the Eldar Alliance, and if any of you guys don't know what Eldar Alliance is, it's basically you make a list representing all the Craftworlds. Every single Craftworld must be represented by at least 1 or 2 units, and those units are all, you know, pretty much around the same percentage of the list. So it must include all 5 main Craftworlds. Obviously, there's so many other minor Craftworlds that have their own specializations. We're not going to go into that, but each of the 5 main Craftworlds must be equally represented. So that means not, you know, any more than 400 points in any one Craftworld. It's a limit of 400 points per Craftworld, and you have to get as close as possible to that point value. So basically, if you are at, you know, 360 out of 400, that's fine. If you can't pick another unit in there that is part of that Craftworld, that's acceptable. But, you know, if you have 400 or 300 points and you can fit another unit in there from that Craftworld, you have to do it. Each Craftworld will be represented only by the units they are known to specialize in. So that means that, you know, for Biel-Tan, you're going to have only Aspect Warriors, and I'll go into, you know, which Craftworlds are going to have what units in just a second. Uthway, you're only going to have, you know, Psychers and Guardians and stuff like that. And you must have at least 2 units from each Craftworld, so you can't just, you know, say, okay, for Craftworld Biel-Tan, I'm just going to have the Avatar of Cain and just call it a day, right? You actually have to have at least 2 units from each Craftworld, so you can't just plug the Avatar of Cain in there and, you know, basically just say, okay, that's it. Because that would kind of defeat the purpose of, you know, building this challenge list. Okay, and then any extra points left over must be spent on Enrathe or Harlequin units only. So, you know, Death Jess or whatever, you can include Harlequin units. It doesn't have to be in a specific way, but if you have extra points left over at the end of the game to try to make it to 2,000 and you can't fit any other units in your other categories, then you can spend it on Harlequin units and Enrathe units or Corsair units. Okay, so, and that's just to make sure that, you know, you can actually have a 2,000 point list and everything is kind of represented a little bit. Hello, Sir Tim. Hopefully you're doing all right tonight. I'm sorry for the bad quality of the video, the stream. It's gonna get better, guys. I just need a mic, and once I get a mic, I can stream from the computer, and it can be all good. You know, I don't have to stream from my phone and, you know, looking at the computer. Hey, Erilyn, how's it going? Okay, so for those of you joining in, this is gonna be the making of a Craftworld Alliance list. This is gonna be my next project I'm gonna get the models for, build up, paint. I'm gonna try to paint all these guys and build all these guys on stream too with you guys so we can all have a good time. And then when I finish the list, I'm gonna be doing some battle reports and showing you those battle reports, hopefully by, you know, February when I get the list done. I can go out there, you know, play some games with some buddies. I have a couple of people who say they, you know, they're a little bit hesitant to, you know, play games that they know are gonna go online, but they say they're willing to do it in a minor way, so that's good. Okay, so basically the Craftworld units that I have here are as follows. We are not going to be using Legends units. Those are not going to be in effect just because those are really hard to actually get. Those are really hard to get, and I don't want to spend, you know, hundreds of dollars on some of those Legends units. So those are not going to be included in this. I think it's really cool and stuff, but we're just not going to include that. And the other reason is I want to potentially bring this to some tournaments in the future. So we'll see. Okay. All right, so for Uthway, you have Farseers on foot, you have Warlocks on foot, you have Storm Guardians, Guardian Defenders, Support Weapons, and Eldrad Uthran. And I know Wind Riders are technically a quote-unquote Guardian unit, but they're only going to be for the Saim-Hann. So that means regular Farseers on foot you can use in Uthway, Warlocks on foot you can use in Uthway, Storm Guardians, Guardian Defenders, and Support Weapons, of course, and then Eldrad. Now, as for special characters, you can include special characters. However, they have to count towards their specific Craftworld. So Eldrad Uthran would be part of Uthway, and that's the only way you could field them. Okay, so for Biel-Tan, we have Autarchs, both the Wayleaper and the Autarch on foot. We have Dark Reapers, Warp Spiders, Dire Avengers, Howling Banshees, Swooping Hawks, Striking Scorpions, Fire Dragons, Shadow Specters, a Crimson Hunter, the Wave Serpents, Falcons, Shining Spears, the Avatar of Cain, and Phoenix Lords. Now, specifically, you know, it doesn't make much difference as far as, you know, what the Wave Serpent carries, but it will be, you know, Biel-Tan mostly. And, you know, if I do end up including a Wave Serpent in this list, it's probably going to be carrying something like Dire Avengers or Fire Dragons anyway. So, there you go. Now, one thing to say about this, though, is the Avatar of Cain, he does count as Biel-Tan, so unless you have a way to include another unit, you know, like a really cheap unit of like Swooping Hawks, for example, I think you can probably fit in there. You can't include much else because you do have to have at least 2 units from each Craftworld. So picking the Avatar of Cain basically locks you out of most of the choices. So you do have to also keep that in mind. Okay, so for Iyanden, we have the Wraith Guard, we have the Wraith Blades, Wraith Lords, the Wraith Seer, a Spirit Seer, the Hemlock Wraith Fighter, a Wraith Knight, which is actually unusable. We cannot take the Wraith Knight because of the points and the points limits, and Prince Riel. So that's for Iyanden. I just put the Wraith Knight in there because technically he is, you know, a model that you can put in there, but you can't do it in this particular list because he's over 400 points. And then lastly, we have the Saim-Hann, the Wild Riders. So we have the Wind Riders, Vipers, Fire Prisms, the Autarch Skyrunner, the Farseer Skyrunner, the Warlock Skyrunner, and the Hornet. And I think I have one more Craftworld, actually. Yes, I forgot the Aeldari. Yes, Corsairs can be technically part of Iyanden, but Corsairs and Harlequin units are going to be a separate thing. The only reason Prince Riel is in there is because he has the, you know, kind of Iyanden keyword from last edition, so he's in there. The Eldritch Raiders Corsairs would technically be, you know, part of Iyanden, I guess you could say. But, you know, in general, Corsair units are unattached to Craftworlds. So we're going to basically put those separate, and that's kind of rule number 4 up here. Extra points left over must be spent on Anrathe and Harlequin units only. Prince Riel, again, is only in here. He's like a special case. And then for the Aeldari, we have all the outcasts. We have Rangers, Shroud Runners, Warwalkers, Illic Night Spear. And I ended up putting the Night Spinner in this list because I felt like the Night Spinner is a very control-oriented piece, and that kind of goes well with you know, what it is. Just because the Night Spinner seems like it would be in a Laytalk kind of, you know, kind of model. So I ended up putting that in that category. So basically, this is the goal for today. It's to create a list, and we might not get through all of it today, because I'm probably going to be on stream for about an hour or so. At some point, I'm going to get a call, and then I have to leave. But yeah, basically try to make a 2,000 point list with all 5 main craft worlds represented. And this is actually very difficult to do. If any of you have ever done something like this and actually tried to make a competitive list like this, it is a challenge. It's like a challenge run, you know, when those streamers do those challenge runs, it's like, you know, Dark Souls daggers only, or Dark Souls bare fists only, or some crazy nutty thing like that that only the insane would try. This is kind of like that, except a little bit different. Because luckily we do actually have a pretty decent index to be able to choose units from. So yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead and scroll down here and let's go ahead and actually start this. I want you guys to be able to see this. So we're gonna start out with, let me actually change, maybe I can change the font a little bit, maybe a little bigger so you guys can see it. That's not big enough. One sec. There we go. Also, feel free to make suggestions, guys, because I kind of want to do this together as a community. So if you guys have any suggestions for the list, we can go ahead and do that. And there will be changes, you know, kind of before we do a final version. So the first thing I want to go ahead and, the first craft world I really want to look at is I want to look at Biel-Tan. And the reason why I want to look at Biel-Tan first is because the one model that I definitely want in this is the Autarch Wayleaper. And a lot of you may think, oh, why do you want the Autarch Wayleaper, Proxhammer? Well, it's really good for this type of list, because you're going to be using a lot of different strategies and a lot of different combinations with units that you weren't, you know, that you probably wouldn't use with a regular competitive list. And because of that, you know, I do want the extra command points as they arrive. So I do want the Autarch Wayleaper, so we're gonna just go ahead and put that right there. And this is gonna be for the Biel-Tan. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. All right, we got the Autarch Wayleaper, that's 115 points. For now, the war gear is irrelevant. We're gonna worry about the war gear later because everything's free anyways, so it doesn't matter. We'll give him whatever fits the best. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be the fusion gun like every single other thing, but you know, anyway. So the Biel-Tan, we have a maximum amount of points of 400. So I'll have my calculator ready for that. Warp spiders, Brentley White, I think you are correct, my good sir. Warp spiders are good. I do want to kind of examine a couple of things though. And I want to examine what the list is going to have for anti-large, because if it doesn't have much for anti-large, we're probably going to have to go with a Falcon and Fire Dragons. But the other thing is those secondary objectives, right? And I think for those secondary objectives, you're going to need Warp Spiders. We can get our anti-large from our Saim-Hann with the Vipers. We can get it from, you know, the Laytalk with the Warwalkers. I think Swooping Hawks are going to be a pretty good choice. So let's just do that. We can do that, right? We're just going to have, whoops, sorry. We're just going to have a unit of Swooping Hawks. I like Swooping Hawks anyway, they're fun to paint. So we have Swooping Hawks, they're going to be 75 points. Okay, so we have a unit of Swooping Hawks. So we're basically at we're basically halfway through. So we have about 200 points left. Now here's the real question, because most of our lists then, you broke a lot of hawks, Erlen? Oh man. Do you have the fine cast ones? That's why, man. Got to get the metal version, the metal ones. Yeah. No, the fine cast ones are total trash. You definitely have to pick up the metal ones. All right. Okay, so we have our swooping hawks. I think the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to try to have to decide if we want more swooping hawks or warp spiders to cover our, our bases with secondary objectives. What do you guys think? Should we go more of swooping hawks, or should we go with things like, technically, I don't think we can do a fire dragon and falcon unit anymore. 140 plus 85 is too, yeah, I think we're over. I don't think we can do that. So we can't do the fire dragons anymore. That's out. Gosh, the heater just turned on. Sorry about that, guys. I can't control that thing. So I think we can do fire dragons and wave serpent, but I don't know. That might be a little bit iffy. So you know what I think we should do, guys? I think we should go with warp spiders, and I think we should go with another unit of hawks or striking scorpions. The new striking scorpion box set is coming out, and I think that would be a good kind of fun unit to use. So I think we're gonna do that. Let's just, I mean, we can always change it later, right? Warp spiders. Oops. And I think striking scorpions. What do you guys think about striking scorpions? Fun unit, fun to paint, would be cool to see on stream, putting together the kit and building them and stuff. I think that would be, I think the swooping hawks would be more competitive, but I think striking scorpions would be funner. So we're going to go with striking scorpions for now. We might change that. But I think the box set, I'm already going to pick up a box set of them when they come out, so I might as well. So let's add up the points here. We have 230 plus 150. So how many points is that? 230 plus 150 is 380, right? So that's as close as we can get. And that's it. That's 380. That's as close as we can get. There's no unit that we can use for that. You know what, David? My opinion on Shadow Specters is that they're awesome, but they're extremely expensive, and because people are using them so much, I fear that they will get another round of nerfs in January. Either more points or a rules nerf. I've heard things, I've heard that, people are considering taking away blast from their ranged attack. I've heard a couple things like that, so I don't know. From their disperse shot, so either a points increase or something like that, because they are very good. They're 95 points. They're more balanced than they were before, but people are still using them in almost every list, so we'll see. But I definitely like them, and I think they'll still be good even if they're nerfed. Even if blast is taken away, they're still going to be useful. They're just not going to be a tournament, auto include. So that's where I am with them. I could change this later on. We'll probably come back to this, but for now, Beal Tan complete. Let's go ahead and let's jump to the next thing here. All right, let's do another Craftworld. So we have our Bealtan. So we basically have all of our objective units taken care of. So that's cool. What else? What other Craftworld do we want to look at? The list really needs. Well, let's do this. Let's take a second here. I think we're going to need some support units. I think we should take a look at Uthway next. Let's take a look at Uthway. What do you guys think we should put for an Uthway? A couple of Uthway models. I think a Farseer would be good. I think a Farseer synergizes with a lot of things that I might include in this list, like a Warwalker or a Viper. Possibly Wraithguard or a Wraithlord. So I think a Farseer is a good pick. What do you guys think? Just Farseer on foot? I don't think Eldrad, because I think Eldrad is geared more towards a certain style of list. We could do Eldrad, but I don't know. Okay, so here's what I do know, though. I do know Farseer. We know that. Farseer is 80 points, right? So we know we want a Farseer. That's an auto-include in this list. What do you guys think of Storm Guardians? Okay. All right. For real, dude. For real. Guys. I think I have to include a unit of Storm Guardians. I don't care what anybody says. I think I have to do it. What do you guys think? Who wants Storm Guardians? You guys are going to crucify me later. I know it. The Corsairs Dolo will come in later. No Storm Guardians. Okay, guys. Storm Guardians are good. Come on. Storm Guardians are good. No one likes Storm Guardians here. Okay, I have to do it. I'm sorry. We have to do it. Come on. We have to do the Storm Guardians. It's what it has to be. We have Storm Guardians in the list. Okay, so here's the real dilemma, though, guys, because I can give the Farseer like a Phoenix Gem or something like that. I don't need to put him with Guardian Defenders if I don't want to. So that we can kind of leave in the air. But the problem is we have to get as close to 400 points as possible. That's the rule. So we can't just leave it like that. We have to put something else in there. So here's the thing. I could either do a support weapon. I think a support weapon maybe would be an okay choice. I feel like they're kind of weak though right now. Shadow Weaver. Yeah, because we need about 200 more points. So Okay, so here's the thing. I think the Shadow Weaver may be decent, but I'm not 100% on it. I'm not 100% on the Shadow Weaver because I don't know if we're going to pick up a Night Spinner for the Aletok. I think we do a Night Spinner, so I don't know if the Shadow Weaver is necessary, but let's just do this for now. Support weapon. What do they cost now? 125 points? God, that's terrible. That's so bad. They really shouldn't be that many points. Do we even have any other ability to put any other units in here? Let's see, because we have 195 with the Storm Guardians and the Farseer. Yeah. Okay, so I think we need to put a Warlock in here, guys. I think that's probably the only thing we can do. Because we have to get as close as possible, so I think we need a Warlock on foot. It sucks, but I think we need to do it. Let me see if there's any other units we can pick up here. Hold on. Yeah, there's really just... Yeah, there's not much for Uthway. Because I think we have 200, we have 320, we have 80 more points. So we just have to do a Warlock. We just have to do one Warlock. Warlock on foot. That's literally our only option. We have no other option. I might go back to that because I might swap out the support weapon for something, I don't know. I think that means we give the Farseer the Phoenix Gem. And that'll boost us up a little bit to 105. And I think we're good at that point. I think we're actually perfect. We have 150 plus 140. Which is 390, right, guys? I think we're at 390. What do you guys think about that? I think realistically that's the only thing we can do unless we want to swap Storm Guardians with Defenders, but I don't think we're going to need Defenders. I really don't. I don't think we're going to need them. But we could go back to Guardian Defenders if we want to, but I just don't think we need them. Also, I will be right back because I need to get something real quick. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I think this is the only thing we can do really for now. And later on, I might swap something out. I might swap out something, but I think Storm Guardians are going to be a good pickup for this list because we're not going to have the Avatar of Cain to pick up primaries, and we're not going to have a Brick of 10 Wraithguard. I already thought about it. We can't afford it with the Spirits here, so we're just not even going to try it. It's not worth it. So we're not going to do that big Wraith brick. So I think Storm Guardians are kind of like our answer to primary objectives, as bad as that sounds. And then, you know, we just kind of have to go from there with that. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what I want to kind of try next is let's do, I don't know, what Craftworld do you guys think we should do next? I think we should do Iyanden, personally. Because I think we need to find something that synergizes with the support weapon and the backline. We need something that can kind of like shore up our backline a little bit. Oops. Okay, so here are my options for Iyanden. I can do double Wraithlord, and that puts us at 320. And then I can do a Spirits here, but I don't think that's great. I think the better call would be to do Wraithguard with a Wraithlord. I think that's what we do with Iyanden. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, I think we do that. I think we do Wraithlord, Wraithguard, and Spiritseer. The Wraithlord can kind of protect the backline units. And the Wraithlord has some pretty good like long range stuff too. We can figure out its weapons later. Let's do Wraithlord. 160. Now, here's the question though, guys. Do we pick up a Wraithseer? Do we pick up a Wraithseer? Sorry. Just gotta move this a little bit out. You guys can see that better. There we go. We can always change this later too. I think what I'm gonna do is once I get this like software figured out for streaming, We'll do an official like kind of thing where we kind of go through the units and we make corrections if we need to. I think that would be for the best, honestly. So let's go with the Wraith Lord. Let's go with Wraith Guard. Obviously with the Wraith Cannons, but we don't have to, again, we don't have to put that right now. It's 170 points. And we do a Spirit Seer. And we give the Spirit Seer the Fate's Messenger. Whoops. What do you guys think about that? Interesting. Yeah, I think we... Do we have enough points for that, actually? You're right, I think we're over. Shit. 65 points for this guy, huh? I think that's all we can do, guys. I think the only thing we can do is just have a regular Spirit Seer. I don't even think we can have Fate's Messenger. Yeah, I think that's it. So this is going to be 340 plus 65. No. 330 plus 65, which is 395, right, guys? Building a list like this is extremely difficult. Shit. All right, let's bang out Saim-Hann real quick, because I think we kind of know what Saim-Hann's going to be all about. Okay, so Saim-Hann, I think we just do Wind Riders. What do you guys think about a Farseer Sky Runner? Do you think we need that? Or do you think you just want to go with just Wind Riders and Vipers all day long? I don't know if we're really going to need Guide in this list. So far, we really don't have any great Guide targets. The Wind Riders technically get rerolls themselves, so I mean, it's not like the greatest rerolls. It is conditional, but it's still rerolls. So I don't know if we should do a Farseer Skyrunner. We already have a Farseer in the list. We already have Branching Fates active. Farseer Skyrunner does add more damage, obviously, but we do also need anti-large, and this list right now really doesn't have a ton of anti-large. A Wraith Lord, I mean, yeah, it's decent anti-large, but Wraith Lords are miss Lords. They miss a lot with their Bright Lances, my experience. So I'll probably not give Bright Lances to the Wraith Lord. The Wraith Guard are good, but it's only 5 of them, and we don't have Fate's Messenger, so it's not going to be as great. We might even exchange those for Wraith Blades, actually. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so this is our objective scoring. We have, I mean, the support weapon could be a D cannon. That's kind of anti-large, but we don't really have any solid anti-large. So, okay, here's the thing, guys. I think we go with Wind Riders and we go with Vipers. I think we try to get some Vipers in the list. What do you guys think? At least one. I think at least one Viper would be really useful for ignoring cover. I mean, think about how many units would benefit from that in this army. I think we do a Viper. I know you guys hate Vipers, but I think we do a Viper. Well, some of you hate Vipers. I think we do a Viper. And I think we do, what do you guys think? Some Wind Riders? I'm thinking, obviously, Wind Riders. We need those anyway, right? And we can't have Shining Spears because Shining Spears are part of Biel-Tan, so that's out. They're Aspect Warriors, so we can't do that. Not that I'd want those fuckers anyway in this list. Excuse my language. Excuse my language on that, but man, when I was running that jet bike themed list, I had Shining Spears in the list and they just didn't do anything for me. I mean, they killed some stuff, but it was like, you know, stuff that didn't matter. It sucked. They really need to buff Shining Spears. They just feel awful. Yeah. I honestly feel you guys on that. That's, yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's do Wind Riders. Obviously, we need... I'm going to do a squad of 6, so 6 Wind Riders. That's going to be 160. So we have a unit of 6 there. Now we can go 2 different directions with this, and I want your guys' input to see what you guys think, because I think it would be better to kind of do maybe 2 units of 3, but I'm kind of hesitant on it because we already have a unit of Swooping Hawks. We already have Warp Spiders. When we get to a Laytalk, we are going to pick up some Rangers and some Shroud Runners as well. So I think we might just want to do... I know this is going to sound stupid, but I think we do want to go with a Warlock Skyrunner at least. For this big unit of 6, I think we do a Warlock Skyrunner. I think they're 55 points, if I'm not mistaken. So what are we at? We're at 245. We're at 245 plus 55. We're at 300. We have 100 points left. So we can either do one more squad of 3 Wind Riders. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. So I don't think we do the Wind Riders, the 3 Wind Riders. Either we can do another Viper. We could have 2 Vipers in the list. Or we could have a unit of... And I can't do the Hornet because that's... I'm going to be honest, I'm just not going to buy a Hornet. I wish I had the love for myself to want to buy a Hornet, but I just don't. I know it's going to come in and the resin is going to be all fucked up. It's going to be a nightmare. I can't do the Hornet. Damn. Kind of in a tricky little pickle here. I think... Let's see what we got here for Saim-Hann. Can't do Fire Prism. I'm not going to do Autarch Skyrunner. Do you guys think... I'm not going to do the Conclave of Warlocks. I think the Conclave of Warlocks is going to suck ass. Plus, I can't afford both the Warlock Conclave and the Farseer. So I think for now, guys, I'm just going to go with the Farseer Skyrunner. I know some of you may be like cringing at that, but I think that's our best option. I think that's our best option for now. 90 points. And that's okay because that leaves us with some points left over so that we can maybe fit in a Harlequin unit. And I'm hoping we get enough for a Death Jester or something like that. We'll see. I think it's 390, right? I think we're at 390 for that. Unless I'm doing the math wrong. Let's see. 160, that's 300, 390. I think that's 390. All right. If I'm wrong, just let me know. Or let me know in the comments or something if I missed one of you. I know I'm missing a lot of your guys' comments right now. I'm just like, can't really, they kind of disappear on my iPhone really fast, so I can't see that. Okay, lastly is Allay Talk. The Allay Talk. Okay, so here's really where it comes down to, because the Allay Talk, we have a couple of options. I think obviously we're gonna need more long-range anti-large, so that means Warwalkers, guys. It definitely means Warwalkers. We're doing some Warwalkers. How many Warwalkers? I personally think 2. I think we need 2 in this list, at least. Okay, so we got our Warwalkers there. That's going to give us some scout moves. That's going to give us some battlefield trickery, some Brightland shots down the range. Oh, fuck. We need a Night Spinner, don't we? What do you guys think about a Night Spinner? Just a single Night Spinner, plug it into the list. It's probably going to get nerfed in January, but whatever. We technically already have an infiltrating unit with the striking scorpion, so maybe we don't need rangers. Maybe we just do shroud runners. I don't think we can do both though. I think if we do the Night Spinner, that's all we can get. So it's either Night Spinner or shroud runners. And rangers probably. Damn. Well, let's see. Do we already have, like, what did the shroud runners really give us? Oh, God, they give us a lot, don't they? Well, I mean, it doesn't really do much for our Biel-Tan. It doesn't really do a whole lot for our Uthway. It does a little bit for our Iyanden with the Wraith Lord, but, I mean, not really. It only really does it if he chooses the, if I give it the missile launchers and it chooses to do the, like, you know, plasma shots. He kind of does a lot for this because we're going to give the Wind Rider shuriken cannons, but again, like, it's not like the end of the world or anything. But having the Night Spinner to control the board, I think is something we can't really pass up. What do you guys think? It just feels bad to, like, not... Maybe we don't do the Night Spinner. It does feel bad. I feel kind of bad not having at least one, like, unit of Shroud Runners or something like that in the list. Okay, let's see here. If we do, let's just see. We might not actually go with this, but let's just pretend for a second. Whoops! What the heck? Okay, hold on. So how many points is that? That's 220. That's 355. So technically, if we do that, we'll have a lot more points and we could put it into something else like Harlequins or something like that. We can have like a Death Jester on the field or something like that. Nah, but you know what? That sucks because I don't think we'd even have enough. That would be 45... 55, 60, 70. Nope, not enough. So we don't even have enough for like an Allay Talk or an Enrathe unit or like, I mean, we have enough for like Void Reavers. That's about it. So we can't even do that. Now, we could do the double Shroud Runner, but I don't like that because the list, I don't think, has enough that benefits off of Shroud Runners to do that. You know what, guys? I think we just do the Night Spinner. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I think we do the Night Spinner. Because if we look at here, the only thing that really benefits from the Shroud Runners is the Wind Riders, and mathematically speaking, you're only getting about 3 or 4 plus the Farseer and stuff. You're only getting about 4, maybe if you're lucky, 5 lethal hits, and I just don't think that's good enough to warrant using them. And we already have an infiltration unit. We already have scouting units. We already have the double Warwalker for scouts. Now, we could go with 1 Warwalker, but here's the problem with 1 Warwalker. Then our anti-large is really bad. We don't have a lot of anti-large. Like, I could give Bright Lances to the Wraith Lord instead, but the Wraith Lord is just not good at hitting, and especially if somebody has, like, Pop Smoke or something like that, you're just never going to hit the target. And you know, all it takes is one opponent to be like, oh, -1 to hit, and then the Wraith Lord's fucked. And then he doesn't have any good targets. Because, I mean, you know, this isn't like your, like, you know, grand tournament, you know, try hard kind of list. This is like more of like a challenge list. So we have to try to figure out. Now, what I do like is I like the Storm Guardians. I think the Storm Guardians are actually going to do good in this list because we have stuff to put on the back line like the Wraith Lord in the beginning of the game, and then we have stuff that's going to be sitting in the back like the Night Spinner. So we do have stuff that's going to be sitting back there that we need to protect, like the support weapon. So I think the Night Spinner is a good choice. And it gives us a little indirect fire. Now, here's the other thing. If we want to do with the weapon options, if we want to go with the support weapon, if we want to do a Shadow Weaver to kind of give us some more, I don't think we do that, to be honest. I think we go D-Cannon, personally. But it's still not a bad option. I think this is good, guys. What do you guys think? And we have some points left over. So let's see. We might be able to fit in something like really minuscule. Let's see. This is going to be 400. Let's see what we got. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just messed ourselves up and backed ourselves into a corner. 10, 15, 25, 45. I think we can't do anything. I think we're just messed up here. Wait, we can do something, right? Yeah, we can do something. We can give, I don't think we can, like, pick up any Harlequin units. Okay, we can put Fate's Messenger on the Wayleaper. I don't think that's that great, but we could. Right now we're sitting at 19. What do we have? How many points did I say? 1945. So we have. This is what we're sitting at right now. I wish I could give Weeping Stones here, but that's, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of weird. The other thing I could do is I could drop the support weapon and replace it with Guardians, have some more points, but I don't think I'm going to do that either. I think that's a waste. Well, we have 45 points left. I don't know what else we could do besides just throw a random useless enhancement on something. You know what we're gonna do? Because, God, I don't know. Yeah, because technically we could, I guess we could drop the Skyrunner and do something else with it. But that doesn't really help us because then we only have 100 points to work with because we can't go over 400 points in each category. And you have to get as close as possible. So I don't think we could do that. All right. Here's what we're going to do for today. I think that's probably a good place to kind of stop. And if you guys want to help me out and in the comments just kind of maybe talk about what we could do, just keep in mind the rules though. You know, I can't go over 400 points in any one category. I have to have at least 2 units in each category as well. And I need to represent all the Craftworlds and stuff. So if you have some ideas, let me know in the comments section. That would really help me out. Because I really want to plan out this list right so I don't get just screwed over, you know? What else do we have for a late talk real quick? Yeah, Rangers and Shroud Runners and stuff. God, that Night Spinner, though. I mean, in a list like this, a Night Spinner is like a obvious choice for a regular list, but a list like this may be too many points to sink in one basket, you know? But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in any case. We're going to go ahead and end the stream, I think, right here. But let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. We're going to basically have this as kind of a thing on the channel where I put this list together. It's an Eldar Alliance. We're going to have all these units for the list. All of them are going to be repping their own Craftworld. So when I paint this up, the Way Leaper is going to be Beal-Tan, rocking the green and white. The Swooping Hawks and Warp Spiders and Striking Scorpions will all have their little Beal-Tan emblems. Uthway will be, you know, obviously the black and white, the black and ivory. Iyanden with the yellow and blue. Saim-Hann with the white and red. Aeldari with the camo, blue and white and kind of like tan and stuff. And we're going to go with that. I may have to add a rule somewhere along the line so that we can fill out these 45 points and just say, fuck it. You know, if there's something left over, we can kind of, we can see, but I don't know if there's anything for 45 points here. Unless we cut something, you know? So we could technically cut the Phoenix Gem here if we needed to, and we could add something else, like another Warlock or something like that, but I don't know if that's, again, I mean, that might not bring us to, we can only spend a max of 400 points, so. Anyway. Yeah, we're only going to do the main Craftworlds. We're only going to do these ones because, I mean, it gets to the point, like, if we're doing all the, like, side Craftworlds and stuff, like, you know, if we're doing Mimirian or Mimiria or we're doing, like, Yemlock or whatever, I mean, come on, you know, at that point, like, I have to make, like, each, each Craftworld will only have, like, one unit, you know? There's, like, 26 Craftworlds out there. It would be... You know what, though? It would be really cool to do that. I just don't think I have the wherewithal to do that. Like, the mental space also to do that is just insane. And at that point, there's, like... It's more about just picking the unit. It's not even about synergy. It's just going to be, like, just a bunch of random shit. So I don't know if I want to do that completely. But in the future, definitely. Especially when we're, like, expanding this. So... I think for now, this is going to be it. This is our list. It comes out to 1955. But yeah, like I said, in the comments, leave me a comment about what to do. I think the Wraith Guard, I mean, we could easily swap that out and maybe put something on the Spirit Sphere. I mean, there's things we could do, right? There's things we could do. So we'll just keep that in mind. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. And yeah, definitely leave some comments in the comments to help me out with this. And next time, hopefully we do a live stream like this. We're going to go over this list again, and we're going to kind of hopefully have a better stream setup so that it doesn't look so so terrible. Okay, thanks guys. Have a good one.